Oh, oh yes, Brittany, the pink one, definitely. This is thing on, and welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable? Then smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Monday's edition, yes, Monday's edition of the DC Daily, where we're talking about no compromise for Zack Snyder in getting his Justice League movie released on HBO Max, and Screen Rant are covering this. Of course, a couple of days ago, Zack Snyder was on Vero answering the fans' questions, and he was very, very thorough and brutally honest as well, I think, and it was really refreshing to see. Zack Snyder made no compromises to get his Justice League cut released. Zack Snyder assures fans he made no compromises in getting his infamous cut of Justice League released. It'll be just as he intended it. This is an article by Rachel Labonnotti. Zack Snyder promises he made no compromises in releasing his cut of Justice League. Snyder's journey in releasing his original version of Justice League has been a long and at times uncertain one. As one of the DCEU's original creators, Snyder had big plans for the Justice League that he began seeing through. With the start of production, however, only months before Justice League was released in theatres, Snyder stepped away from the project following a family tragedy. Well, that's the cover story. We know the real story now, don't we? Joss Whedon was brought in to oversee reshoots, but he ended up rewriting much of the film. Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in Justice League, recently spoke out against Whedon's behaviour on the set of Justice League. Whedon's reshoots removed several storylines and characters like Darkseid Ray Porter and Martian Manhunter Henry Lennox. As a result, it's not Henry Lennox, it's Harry Lennox. I mean, I'm crap with names, but even I know that, Rachel. As a result, fans were quick to call for the release of the Snyder Cut. They wanted to see the movie Snyder intended to make. Over the years, Snyder revealed more and more about what his Justice League entailed, and the fan campaign only got stronger. Finally, fans were rewarded with the news that the Snyder Cut will be released on HBO Max next year. Snyder regularly responds to fans on his Vero account, and Twitter user Scott McClellan, I follow him by the way, recently noticed some new comments from Snyder. Most notably, Snyder was asked if he made any compromises in getting Warner Brothers to release the Snyder Cut. In other words, is the Snyder Cut really the movie Snyder always intended to make? The answer is yes, as Snyder simply responded by saying no compromise. He also added that the 2017 Justice League, which was the theatrical cut, was all compromise, which we of course already know. Now, Scott McClellan has actually got a profile picture of himself in a Superman top. And if you ever want me to follow you, that's always what gets my attention. Someone wearing a Superman top. I'll always follow someone with Superman in it or wearing a Superman t-shirt or jumper. Always. The anticipation for the Justice League Snyder Cut just keeps growing. And Snyder has been all too happy in stoking it. Yeah, Snyder recently unveiled the first clip from the film, which sees Wonder Woman Gal Gadot uncovering Darkseid's origins. What fans are waiting for now is a trailer and an official release date. All that's certain is that HBO Max is aiming for an early to mid-2021 release for Justice League. I think what's going to happen is we may actually, because we know that the Nerd Queens are presenting Justice Con this Friday. I think it's going to be on their YouTube channel. I haven't even subscribed to it yet, so I'm going to have to give that a hunt. Obviously, it's in America, so the times for the rest of us living in the real world, yeah, America's not the real world, we'll have, to probably stay up and have matchsticks, but it'll be well worth it. So it wouldn't surprise me if, the release date for Zack Snyder's Justice League will be announced at JusticeCon. I think he'll want to do something on there to make it a little bit special, because it is kind of a fan event, if you like. It's for the people from the movement. So I think we may see a clip or we may get a release date. But for sure, the release date will definitely be announced, if not at JusticeCon, at the DC Fandome when they show us the trailer. Snyder will reveal more about the project at the DC Fandome event, the first ever virtual fan convention for DC fans. Snyder will be present for the August event. and it's certain he'll have some exciting updates for fans. For many, this is a celebration of Snyder's work. The circumstances behind his departure from Justice League were unquestionably tragic, and it's wonderful to know that after everything he went through, his film, as he intended it, will finally be released out into the world. Fans just have to wait a little bit longer. A great article, Rachel, apart from getting Harry Lennox's name wrong. But, we're all perfect. I get names wrong. I do cock-ups on here. My reading's terrible. So, no compromise. What does that actually mean? No compromise means the scary idea. Let's get one thing straight, right? Look, we all know that we were under the impression, before this cut was announced, before we were told they were doing this and it was going to be on HBO Max, and there's no point denying this now, we were all under the impression that Zack Snyder's Justice League was ready to go, music, edit, with a few things just needed to be done, like Harry Lennox's kind of performance as Martian Manhunter. But apart from that, we were all under the impression that this film was locked and loaded. It seems this isn't the case. Also, the original Hollywood Reporter article, when the cut was announced to be streaming exclusively on HBO Max, Zack Snyder apparently, when he spoke to Jim Lee and Walter Hamada, had already plotted cliffhangers because they're talking about doing it in episodes. So already we can see that he has a little bit of a different vision for how this is going to be executed, but it's still the same plan. But what's for sure, we are going Game of Thrones here. This is the Justice League in Game of Thrones form. A proper, adult, DC TV series straight to streaming with epic episodes, which will have Zack Snyder's Justice League Season 1, 2 and 3. We know that's the structure of it. But the whole point of the conversation I'm trying to ignite here is that we are not getting some butchered, bastardized version here. We are getting his vision. And he confirmed it the other day. He wouldn't just say it for the hell of it, right? He would have no reason to lie. This is happening. We are getting Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I couldn't be more excited. Yes, Ray Fisher will be at Justice Con. Now, he does talk to Fiona, and of course, Fiona is really the person who got this movement all started, if you think about it. Now, clearly, Fiona had a personal friendship with Zack before all this started, and she went into bat for him, which is brilliant. And she has been talking to Ray Fisher, and he has been allowing her to, post in screenshot form their conversations. So this is one they had, I think, yesterday. Anyway, we have your back, whatever happens. This is Ray Fisher. That's amazing. Thanks for keeping me posted, Fiona. I'll definitely join in. And you all don't owe me a thing. You all fought for what was right, and I was proud to be part of it, come what may. Wonderful. This is Fiona. You deserve all the love, Ray, as he does. We want to fight for you as we fight for Zack. Can I have permission to share? Thanks, Ray says. Fiona, and sure, feel free to share. So that's their little conversation. So yes, Ray Fisher is someone else who will be at Justice Con. So it's a very exciting event. There'll be, as I said yesterday, there'll be people like Chris Swan-Svensson. The Nerd Queens are presenting it. So if you're not following them on YouTube, which I'm assuming all this is going to take place, hopefully. Oh, God, please don't make it a Vero event. We'll never get to see it. Let's see what happens anyway. I'm never that clued up. I'm probably going to have to watch an episode of the Ping Pong Flicks and check it all out and make sure I know where all this is going to be. So I can reiterate it to you guys. But yes, I think we can be clear about one thing here, and that Ray Fisher is telling the truth about Joss Whedon. I think there's no question about that. That can't be doubted. I know that his supporters, people like James Gunn, will never admit that. And it's interesting, as I said yesterday, James Gunn's becoming very bolshy now since he's been brought back off the naughty step. And there was a conversation which was kind of interesting. A Reddit post. Is it Reddit, isn't it? And there was all these kind of leaks that what's going to be announced at DC Fandom from the kind of DC perspective of HBO Max. James Gunn actually came in underneath and said, this is fake and this is not going to happen. Of course, fans weren't very happy with that. He is becoming as I said, James Gunn, since coming off the naughty step at first, was very humble, very nice to everyone. He wasn't being arrogant. He was thanking fans, giving them little, information about the Suicide Squad. All of a sudden now, he's getting ever so cocky. And unfortunately, James, I do respect your talent. I do respect you as a person. But if you have got a future in DC films, you have to have respect. Nobody wants to hear your little words like fan entitlement and stuff like that. If you want to talk like that, you go over to Disney and, you fill your boots. But DC fans don't want to hear your extreme left perspective. We don't care. We're not interested, right? We don't care about politics. We care about these DC characters. So stay in your lane and only open that if you're talking about movies. If you want to talk about politics, if you want to rubbish fans and things like that, get a private domestic account where you can laugh with your friends at how dumb we are, right? That's fine, as long as we can't see it. But, at the end of the day, you are our bitch. You're making films for us. The sooner you people understand that, the better. Comment down below. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DC Daily. See you again soon. I'm just going to get back to Brittany now.